What's up, guys and gals? Welcome back to the Nerd Castle. Today in the world of indie games, we're going to be taking a look at Outbreak Island. This is a open-world zombie survival game where there's some kind of giant Mountain Dew crackle lightning coming out of the sky, and there's irradiated guys with tubes coming out of their nostrils chasing you with pipes. The developers have put out this demo as kind of like a 5 to 10% preview of the game to accumulate some feedback from the community about what they'd like to see in the final release. And so, seeing as they sent the demo over to me, I figured we'd give it a look and we'd see what thoughts we had while playing the game and what things need to change, what things need to stay the same, what's going well, and what just kind of feels a little bit crunchy. So let's dive on in. If after watching this you wanted to get the game for yourself, the demo's going to be out in a couple of days. I'll have a link for you down in the description. On top of that, you can also take a look down there and you'll find a link to my Twitch stream and my Discord in case you wanted to hang out live. I do broadcast pretty frequently throughout the week, 4 or 5 times a week, and I'm usually on the Discord to answer questions and whatnot, so you're more than welcome. Let's dive on in because we've got 25-30 minutes to kill. All right, so here we are in the game world. We've got some kind of effervescent rock explosion happening over on that side. So I played around with the oh my god, the pop-in. Okay, all right, fair enough. There was not a thing there. Now there is a thing there. The first thing that I noticed when playing this game is that they really need to get an option to remove the motion. This game has particularly thick motion blur. And unfortunately, for the case of this demo, you're not going to be able to fiddle with it at all because the game has a very, very limited settings menu. Now, the good news here is that with the game on Ultra and slightly outdated hardware, I feel like the game performs really, really well. I've had no performance issues or anything else. But that having been said, I would like the ability to turn off the motion blur. Motion blur for me is just one of the worst inventions in the history of gaming, and I just cannot stand it. It's like the first thing I get rid of along with screen shake whenever I play a game. But we have an objective right now. We need to head on over and use the bed to save our game. We'll save the game, I shall. In the bottom left-hand corner of the screen, you are able to see that we have our stamina, our water, our food, and our health. There's a soda right here. I like soda. Honestly, I feel like Dr. Pepper and Mountain Dew are like solid top tier. But like in general, I'll drink just about any soda. For living, people need energy and they get it from food and drink. I'm aware of the fact that I'm a human, right? I feel like the way this is being pitched right, our character should definitely know that energy comes from food and water. That's just a biological imperative. All right, so explore the base and find items. Let's go ahead and do that. They're going to ping things all over the map, and we're just going to have to run around and find them. There is debris and detritus that just, like, exists in the world and is laying around like these planks that you can interact with. You can identify them from a distance because they'll have a very slight glow to them. On this side, we've got a Scroogey. We've got, is it a flathead, though, or is it like a Phillips, or is it like one of those cursed star ones? And we got some planks, we got some fabric, we got some scrap. I'll take it. Sounds good. Doesn't look like there's anything else inside of here. Strangely, the game doesn't have any environmental sounds. I was just listening for a second. I don't hear anything. It's pretty super quiet right now except for my footsteps. And so having, like, you know, little Tweety birds and like whooshy wind sounds, stuff like that would probably help out. The sound of branches scraping past each other, all those kinds of goodies that most games of the open world variety tend to have. We've got ourselves components over here. We've got canned vegetables. We've got some bottles and some water bottles. Okay, sounds good to me. We got a few more planks over here. Definitely go ahead and lay hands on those. I thought that for a second we had oh, there's like mushrooms over here. Hold on, what's up with the mushrooms? Yeah, let me get those. Are there more mushrooms out here? Like, is it like Mushroomtopia in this area? I mean, I love mushrooms, so you're not gonna, oh, there's like a little log right there. It's like a little forearm-sized log, though. It's not like very large. All right, well, I'm gonna go back inside because I only saw those 1 mushrooms, and I don't think there's gonna be too many more mushy boys out here. What else do we have? Explore the base, find useful items. There's something upstairs over there. There's something right here. What is this? What you got for me? What's inside this little crate? We got some wires, gunpowder, and components. Okay. Is that lootable right there? No, it just looks like it's metal that's laying around. We do have a few more little things that we can loot around that are not tagged, though. That one's got an empty bottle, some matches, and some veggies. I'll take that. I get the feeling it's going to be kind of lean around here, dude. We haven't found, like, a big can of steak or anything. What is this right here? A cooking work table. But we need a hammer and a saw in order to make it. Okay. Everything is pre-build in this. Like, I didn't choose any of these placements or whatever before recording this video. I think for the case of the demo, they kept it simple and just put the objects you can build in specific slots. What does this take? Wood planks and components. Okay, I'll keep that in mind. We got anything else like inside of here? Nay. Okay. Anything important up here at the top? Doesn't look like it. The game doesn't really seem to distinguish what surfaces you're walking on either. That's another observation. Walking on concrete versus walking on dirt versus walking on wood versus walking on corrugated metal. Those are all different sounds, and that's yet again like another one of those things that helps out with the immersive qualities of the game. And so they're going to want to get that on in. Let's see what's inside this crate over here. What do we got going on? So it looks like we've got some bullets, we've got some duct tape, we've got plastic, and we've got some coal. Okay, sounds good. I will take it. Is there anything else on that other side that we can loot? Build solar panels to generate electricity. Okay. I didn't see the last time I did this, I didn't see like a meter or anything around in order to figure out like how much power the base has and or needs. It's possible that that's like later on to be implemented, and for right now, it's just kind of like a stopgap in the progression system. But we do have a solar power panel up here, and so we need to go ahead and get that installed real fast. Solar power panel. Oh, there's metal up here too. I'll take that. All right, solar power panel takes tape, wire, component, screwdriver. Got it. Let's go. I would like to see some kind of animation right there while you're building it and like an incremental process of it being erected. You know, like your first-person hand breaks out a hammer and is like tap, 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 tink, 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 you know, like starts fiddling with it and it just like slowly kind of either grows out of the ground or comes together from floating parts that come from off-screen, things like that. I think make the game feel a little bit better and more immersive. There we go. We'll drop another one over here, and the game is now somewhat happy with us. We have been, I guess, slaked with a satisfying rumble of electrical machinery being put up. And then we need to go make a hammer in your inventory. Okay. I think I can do that. The game uses a radial menu. I'm not a huge fan of radial menus. That always kind of like drips with console design to me. But like for right now, you can do most of the stuff without using the radial menu, but still. I would recommend that if they're going to use the radial menu, from what I've seen so far, there's no way to like hotkey weapons or whatever that you like select from the weapon menu so that you can just press like 1, 2, 3, 4, that kind of stuff to whip out whatever gun you've assigned a number to. But for right now, you know, build a crafting table. Okay, so we need a crafting table right here. And I know from my previous run that we're going to need a water filter in order to make water. So there we go. All those empty bottles we have, we can make a charcoal water filter right here. And then once we've built this little machine right here, we can actually just, it doesn't have to collect rain or anything else like that. We just basically conjure water out of nowhere using our filter. The filter does have a durability on it. If you go on into the inventory with the I key, you can check and see where your filter's at. It seems to me like you probably get like 6 or 7 crafts out of one of them. Yeah, so it's probably like 8 crafts, it looks like, just from eyeballing the distance that it's gone down. I don't know if that's like the exact number, but that's what it looks like to me. Other than that, it looks like our only real thing that we have inside this area is cardboard boxes, and I don't really need cardboard boxes right now. It wants me to make a metal pipe. I do very much like the pipe animation. The pipe swinging animation is nice, except that when you hit an object like that right there, that little flash looks tremendously cheap. And then when you impact with an object like a wall or something like that, like the animation should go wa-ting and like bounce off of that surface while making the sound of the surface that you're hitting, you know, like a boom for like something that's like hollowed out metal, or like a thunk for something that's wood, so on and so forth, like a chain link sound when you smack a fence. Instead, you get like this generic sizzle sound from everything you hit with that little flash right there, and I think it looks especially bad. Like, it does not look good, and so that's going to need to be cleaned up quite a bit. We'll walk along the edges of the road. We need to go explore a guard tower in order to advance the tutorial storyline or whatever it is that we're doing right now. So I'm going to head off in that direction. The sun is going down from what it looks like to me. Trying to see if I could see the sun moving so I could figure out if it was like morning or like night, because we don't have a compass right now, and so unfortunately I don't know which directions are east and west. But yeah, let's go on up to the top of the tower and we will grab the thing that is up here that it wants me to grab. Okay, so we've got a Dufle bag. It's got some wires in it. I'll take that. We've also got a med bag over here. It's got 2 sets of pills inside of there. Pills here. Okay, I'll take that. And then we've got a note that says the command center with an emergency alert. We've been attacked by infected. If you are still at your workplace, you need to immediately go to the nearest bunker. Do not touch anything unusual under any circumstances. Okay. Yeah, I wasn't planning on... Oh, apparently there's a contact surface right there that you can accidentally walk on. All right, a little bit janky, a little tiny bit janky. Let's get down to the bottom here. And once the nighttime arrives, that's when we're going to start getting attacked by zombies and stuff. And so, like, we really kind of want to hustle and get as much done during the day as we possibly can. I also kind of wanted to look around and see if there was any more mushrooms in the area. But unfortunately... not seeing any of the large shroomy boys. Now, it wants us to go to the castle over there next. There used to be one of those next to my hometown when I was a kid in the 80s and, like, the early 90s. It was an old concrete factory, but it was really far off, in the distance from, like, the freeway, and it looked exactly like that, and everybody called it the castle. But I guess it was an old concrete factory or something that used to exist a long time ago and then just, like, shut down. Oh, is the sun going down right now? I think the sun might be going down right now. Either that or we're just, like, in a really, really unfortunate shady spot. I don't know. We should probably get moving then. Otherwise, we're going to have to deal with zombies. And honestly, I don't really want to play the game at night for, like, a YouTube video. I'd rather you guys be able to appraise, like, the textures and the lighting and the, you know, the volumetric fog and everything else while we've got a little bit of a light source. So let's go ahead and chug our way on up this hill, and we'll get on into the castle and see what we can find. Yeah, I think it's actually going down. I don't know if it started us off in the evening or if the days are just very, very short. But it appears as though we are about to lose our light source. Let's get on into this castle and grab what it's got for us. And I think you're going to like what's in here. Like, I think you're going to find that enjoyable. Is that a shroom right there? I'll take it. Let me get that shroom. Are there any more of them laying around? I've had a hard time when I was playing for like an hour before. I was having a hard time finding like enough food to get by, and the meters go down like crazy fast because the days are so short. And so, like, I was really having trouble staying on top of my food and my water meters. There's no flashlight. I would recommend, well, there might be. Let's take a look at the settings. I looked around for it, but yeah, I don't see anything that looks like a flashlight. I have vehicle controls and everything else in here. I would recommend they give the player a flashlight by default that you can turn on, because I did find the nights to be a little bit dark, even once the moon and everything came up. It wasn't like a huge issue. I just kind of went back to my base, back over at like the storage facility or whatever, and caught myself a little nap till morning, but still. The days are very, very short. And then, of course, grab that. And then over here, we've got a shotgun and 12 shells. I told you were going to like it. It's one of those old, like, Soviet-style over-unders. And so we'll go ahead and get that added on, and there we go. Throw that bad boy on right there. The game has like a weird off-kilter aim. I don't know why they do it that way. I assume it's because the gun does not have a rear sight. Maybe? I don't know, but either way, you should definitely like aim fully down sight with this thing instead of it having it the weird angle. I've just been hip firing it because I find the ADS to be really obnoxious looking. Like I don't like it off from the side like that, and so I haven't really been using it. I just kind of like point and click Counter-Strike style or whatever. But like, you know, some people, including myself, really, really, really like ADSing. And so I would like for the ADS to actually be like straight on and look good. Yeah, there's our first sound of a zombie. He's running up on us. As of right now, I don't think that the game... Oh, I'm not reloaded. My bad. There, now I'm reloaded. You guys are free to catch shells to the face. I love the sound effect that they use for the shotgun. It sounds absolutely fantastic. But another point and issue you may want to take a look at, though, is the reload animation. I can't show you right now, but basically flips open the over-under, and the shells that are already inside the barrel just disappear, and then he puts 2 more in there. You're going to want to show him, like, taking the shells out or, like, flipping the gun to the side to dump them out real fast. Before he puts in the other shells, and then I'm pretty sure, I'll test it out in a minute, but I'm pretty sure that if you fire the gun once, he still reloads both shells, even though he's still got one in the tube, which is like another one of those little things that I'm like, I've come to expect sort of immersive reloading experiences. I have like kind of high standards of my first-person shooters nowadays. We've got another mushroom over here. I'm about that life. I love mushrooms. I get the steaky with the mushroom sauce, and like I get the I like my pasta with like the marinara and the sauce. I like the mushrooms in the sauce. Like the more mushrooms you can line me up with, the happier I'm a bee. He got dropped something nasty. Go to sleep, my friend. He dropped pistol bullets, but we haven't really found any pistol yet. Hopefully we will soon. I'd love to have a pistol. I'm guessing that since we found an over-under, we're more than likely going to find like a Makarov or like a CZ or something. Would be my guess, like a Makarov or, you know, like a TT or like a CZ or something like that. It's probably what we're going to find around here, but haven't found it yet. Let me go ahead and break out the pipe. I don't want to waste any more ammo tonight. I gotta smack this dude up. The impacts, they're okay on the enemies, but I feel like they would be better. I'd also recommend they implement some kind of like parry system to the game, just to make the melee fighting a little bit more interesting. I've beaten most of the stuff in the game by backpedaling and just swinging, and they don't really seem to have a strategy that counteracts that. And so anyways, basically, I would look at least implementing the bare basics of like what Fallout 3 or like Fallout 4 had. For melee fighting, where, you know, you have to parry and block and all that kind of stuff to lend a little bit more weight to the experience as well. The enemy pathfinding, I have noticed that needs to be tightened up as well. So, like, on my previous kind of test run where I was playing the game, I was up in the tower when nighttime got here. And when I was up in the tower, the nav meshes for the little zombie guys definitely messed up pretty good. They got stuck, and I've noticed that happening out in the woods as well, is they'll occasionally just get stuck on something, and they just kind of stay there, stuck on the thing, and then you can beat them to death, and they show no response. They don't fight back or attack or anything else like that. I do think there's a few too many zombies at night as well. I prefer the idea of the zombies being kind of like a thing that spawns, like off-screen before you get to a location. Rather than them just like spawning slightly outside of your eye line and rushing up on you. Like, I feel like they should be kind of like confined to small little patrols in the woods that you can avoid, or like inside of compounds and whatnot. Just my line of thinking. Let's go ahead and take a nap real fast with a zombie chasing me, because that's not going to have any adverse consequences. And we're not quite at daytime yet, but I will probably wait and see if we get daytime pretty soon. I have no idea what these guys are supposed to be. Like, on the key art for the game, there was, like, zombies and stuff, but these guys are definitely not zombies. They both had a little bit of charcoal on them, which is fine. We're a little bit thirsty at the moment. There is no drinking or eating animation yet. That's another thing that I feel like with games like this makes them, like, a lot more immersive. Oh, I can't drink because my inventory's full. I gotta drop some stuff off inside my storage. Hold on, we'll, move some things over. There we go. Probably put some logs in there, some fabric, some wood planks. I don't actually know if I can craft out of this thing. I'm going to try in just a minute, though, and see what it counts as me having with regards to just, like, my equipment and whatnot. Probably don't want to put the matches in there. Oh, the game don't pause while I'm in there. Okay. Cool, man. They are, like, everywhere right now. Definitely a little over the top with the zombie amounts at night, just randomly spawning on you from outside of your eye line. That's going to be something they definitely want to tack down, because it kind of makes the whole game ooze with jank. There's one down right there. We'll just keep whittling on them. Usually I try to skip nighttime as much as possible in this game because I found it to be more irritating than anything. Like, I don't think that the critters should be actively seeking destroying you out if you haven't, like, made noise or, like, set off a car alarm or, you know, intruded inside of an area and set off some kind of alarm. It just, you know, I should be, like, laying low right now and chilling. You know what I mean? Just chilling like a splatty villain. We do have a camera on us. Sorry, we made it till morning. I basically fought zombies and farmed mushrooms all night. That's pretty much all I did. There weren't a whole lot of other activities. But we need to take a picture. I think it wants me to take a picture of the castle ruins and use the reference photo. Okay, what does the reference photo look like? Reference photo is kind of like over here on this side. It's not really counting. Let me see if I can find a good angle on it. There we go. It worked from right here. I guess I just had to be up closer. We got some new blueprints as a reward for what we accomplished right here. So what we need to do is we need to go back to base, and we need to take a look around and see what we can craft in order to make ourselves a little bit more effective at surviving, because there's like ammo benches, there's like smelters, there's like a couple of other little things we can build back at base, and I definitely think we should take a look at that as part of the feedback process as well for this demo portion of the game. Okay, so back at base, I think one of our first functions is going to be to fill up our hunger meter. Our hunger meter's in rough shape, and this is kind of something that I ran into the last time I played the game as well. It's just really hard to forage fast enough to keep your meter filled up. But we can, if we get matches and some logs, we can start a fire and we can cook up some food. The other option is we have a cooking bench that's over on this side. We could take a look and see if we have the things that are required in order to make the cooking bench. So 3 planks, 2 components, and a wire, hammer, and saw. Okay. So we need to have components, we need to have wood planks, we need to have hammers and saws and all that kind of stuff. So let's get the logs on out of here. We'll get the planks on out of there. We needed a hammer, and we also needed wires. And then on top of that, there's another plastic bottle right there too. I should keep that on me. All right, I don't think we have enough metal scrap to do a lot of the things that I want to do. That seems to be actually what we're kind of short on. We do have some apples, though. That's not a bad idea, just to spruce up the old health. I only get 5% hunger off of them, but, like, whatever. There we go. All right. And so we needed components. How many of these do I get out with the componentry? We only get 1. Okay, so, like, manufacturing benches is actually going to be a big undertaking, I think. Like, we're actually going to have to dig up all this scrap and whatnot. Let me refresh my memory real fast on what we needed. I know we needed a saw, and then we needed something else, too. So we've got the components, we've got the wire, we need a saw. The saw is the last thing that we need. So let me see if there's any way to make a saw without tapping myself out on some of the things I have. For the saw, we need 3 metal. And to get the 3 metal, I'm guessing we have to build this first over here, this smelting table. Well, no. The melting table does not actually... We need a wrench and we need a saw for that. So maybe I can find the metal, like, pure out in the world, maybe? I don't know. We are going to have to figure that out, though. But anyways, did I get my matches? We should cook up some food just so we don't, like, starve while we're out and about amongst the world. Were my matches in here? They must have been. Matches. There they are. We only found that 1 match, so unfortunately, we got to make this one count. Let's go ahead and make a campfire. It's going to be a little bit of a craft right here. During the crafting process, you should definitely hear the sound of hammering, or if you're filling up water, you should hear the sound of water filling up a vessel. Or if you're, like, cooking food, that, like, sizzling, popping noise. Things like that I think would help out with the immersive process as well. I actually think that's just what the game is lacking, is those little immersive qualities. Like, when you take a look, like, the texture work and all that kind of stuff is all, like, perfectly fine. It doesn't look bad at all. Like, the modeling is actually quite well done. The animations aren't bad either. They just need more of the in-between immersive things that make the game more interesting. Like when you drink out of a water bottle, he actually, like, unscrews a bottle with his hands on screen and drinks out of it, you know, like Tarkov style, effectively. For all my issues with Escape from Tarkov, that's one of the things that I think Escape from Tarkov does exceedingly well, is just the sheer volume of animations they've crammed into that game for every weird and tiny object you can possibly think of. I am going to eat some of my shroomy boys. I don't think we get... Well, we get 20 back from eating our shroomy boys. So we'll go ahead and do it, and then let's get on down the road because it wants me to explore an industrial area. So that sounds kind of fun. Okay, well, here's our industrial yard. Let's have a look and see what's inside of here. Maybe we get some real goodies out of here. Maybe there's nothing but scrap metal. Really no way to tell until we get up in here and start rifling through belongings. Let's go. Is that door open right? Yeah, this definitely takes place in Russia somewhere. They got these big USSR-looking gates over here. I recognize those from, like, DayZ and Tarkov. Like, that's a very distinctive gate style that you really only see from, like, Russian games. All right, we got wood over here. I definitely want that for making more campfires. So I'm just going to pick up anything and everything I can find laying around. Like, I'm going to be real greedy. There's some more scrap metal, which is good because we're completely and totally out of that. Doesn't look like there's anything else over there. Don't see too much, although there's another compound over there, too. Thought I heard a noise for a sec. Oop, there's another scrap metal right there, too. Nice. And another plank. Sweet. Those are stacking, right? How high do these stack? They stack up to 10? Okay. I'm going to try to keep track because we don't have a lot of, like, ancillary inventory space left. And let's go ahead and go through here. We've got just a flower pot. Okay. A water bottle. That's good. Water is a thing that humans require. We've got 2 metal. Very nice. And it does appear to me as though the loot is randomized because on my last playthrough of this little section right here, there was completely different stuff inside the duffels and inside the bags and things like that. So I'm pretty sure. Can you climb ladders? Possibly. No, can't climb ladders from what I can tell. Plastic and metal scrap. Nope, I still want it. Yeah, give me the plastic and the metal scraps. Oh, ow, 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 ay. Chill right, bro. Woo, nice smoke effect, though. Looked good. Apparently, there's, like, automated defense batteries around. Nah, I'm just kidding. I already knew about that. We can loot his body, too. Very nice. Okay, yeah, let me loot him for all the goodies. I like the fragmentation of, like, the robot right there, too. It looked really, really nice. All right, grab a little bit more out of here. There's some more plastic. I don't know how much plastic we're going to need, but sure. Why not? We can hit it with a heating gun and form it to whatever shape we need. Might work out. When you're inside compounds, the game wants you to destroy these right here, like anything that's blinking green. We're not at that part of the quest yet, but, like, we should probably destroy it at one point or another. We can search over here. Wow, my health is, like, really bad right now. I should probably do something about that. I've got pills. Yeah, just throw these nondescript pills. What could they be? Who knows? Maybe antidepressants, maybe Paladone. Either way, it's going straight in my mouth. You also have a weight allotment. You can't carry over that weight allotment, so keep that in mind as well. There is garden soil over here. It's heavy, though, from what I remember. Yeah, it's quite heavy, so now we're overweight. And so, really, I'd probably say just to... In this version, items cannot be dropped. Well, that's just unfortunate, considering how overweight I am right now. I'll figure out a workaround. But for now, let's just kind of get inside the building over here. I don't love that I'm overweight. Looks like I could probably get away with drinking another water. Maybe that'll get us low enough. It got us close. We can get inside this building right here. And I'm not going to pick anything up. I'm going to avoid the urge to pick anything up. It's so odd that item dropping is not a thing. I assume it has to do with how the game tracks assets and, like, memory or something like that. When you drop it on the ground as, like, a physical object that's out of the place where it spawned. That part might not be worked through just yet. But we do have a bed back here, which is nice. So I'm going to go ahead and save. All right, so we got our save ready to rock. Apparently, you can disassemble the bed, too. What's in here? Shotgun shells. Definitely take those. My ammo meter didn't update when I picked up the shotgun shells. It probably should. There we go. Now it updated. Apparently it wasn't tracking like what I had in my inventory or something. What's this little note say over here? Agent Nelson of Reconnaissance Unit B9 to any soldier in the broadcast radius. We need help to investigate a broken airplane near the main military base. There's a possibility that the accident is associated with secret experiments. The pilot could be infected, and then he lost his mind and was not able to control the plane. Okay. Fair enough. But for now, we're going to sleep for 8 hours because I don't want to be awake during zombie murder me in the face apocalypse night, if I can help it. Like, I would prefer for that not to be how this goes. I have very, very limited ammo, and I would rather not waste it on random zombies that are trying to eat me than something useful. Still, I could probably chillax for a minute. Oh, God. Yeah, okay. Yeah, there's a lot of you. Let's maybe then get on top of this spool right here. Yeah. I live on top of Mount Spoolington now. Gunpowder. I'll take it, I guess. Don't really want the gunpowder, but I'll take it. We are a little bit hungry and thirsty right now. Let me down a little bit more water. There we go. Water meter's all good to go. Not a whole lot I can do with the food meter right now, though. We can go destroy some of... Oh, there's one on top of the building over there. Okay. Probably like top of the truck right here. And then we jump over to here. Yeah, I do like the inclusion of little jumping puzzles or whatever to the experience. Okay, that's one down. Noisier than I expected, but we spent a little bit of time with the demo, so let me kind of like, because I get the feeling like I've gotten to the point now on YouTube where developers frequently see my video, and so I like to do a little talk at the end of the video where I basically assemble everything together, and I'm like, this and this and this need to change, this is fine, so let me do that now while you watch some gameplay. So as it stands on the current demo, I'd say that this one probably wasn't 100% baked and ready for the light of day yet. There is such a thing as showing your game off a little bit too soon, and even if you're like pursuing and seeking out feedback, you gotta be careful about that because you gotta land on the right foot. But from my perspective, having put about 2 hours into the demo now, I think there's a number of things that are fairly obvious and need work. On the bright side, with the good things, the game looks utterly fantastic. The textures, the lighting work, the reflecting effects, the volumetric fog, the rain effects, everything looks fantastic visually. I got treated to a lightning storm during the game, and it looked absolutely stunning. Like, it was amazing to just sit there in my base and watch this lightning storm. Like, it looked really, really, really good. The graphical end of the game is seemingly very competent and well arranged, and from the amount of content that I've seen in the demo, and the amount of things you can craft, and the amount of things you can build, and stuff like that, I can tell that they have, like, large-scale plans for content. So I'm guessing this is just a tiny chunk with all the storyline taken out, you know, just to let people sandbox around a little bit and get a feel for it. But that being said, this is one of those games where the margins are going to have to move around a bit if they don't want to get melted by Steam reviews when this comes out. The lack of any music or atmospheric sounds. That's the first thing I noticed when I was inside the game. That alone probably would have made the game much more immersive and actually made like the little things that I noticed while playing much less noticeable. But because it was totally silent while I was playing the game except for my footsteps, like I just started noticing little things about the game because my ears weren't being activated to go along with the visual sights that I was seeing. From there, I think the melee combat is a little bit too simple. It needs like a block and parry system a la Fallout 3 or Fallout 4. Nothing too complicated, but just like an extra layer of depth to it, and it needs to be made much more solid. Melee in general just wasn't very satisfying to me. It's passable, but passable is not, you know, the best. It needs more clunk. It needs more bang. It needs more knock. The shotgun sound effect was great, though. I liked that a lot. But anyways, the zombie sounds, the footstep sounds, the melee sounds, those all need work to kind of stand out a little bit more. When you take a step on a surface, if it's metal or it's wood or it's grass or it's asphalt, you should be able to tell the difference, or like gravel, so on and so forth. Same for when the zombies run across them. When you hit the zombies, it should feel heavy and thuddy. And like when you get hit by the zombies, there's almost no feedback whatsoever. So that's definitely going to have to be worked on as well. The zombie spawning system, I don't know if that's just a work in progress, but it's overbearing in the current demo. The zombies spawn like every 10 seconds or so, and they just never stop coming until the sun is up. You can lock yourself inside your base, and they despawn in the morning, but what frequently happens is like half of them despawn and half of them don't. They like bug out and continue chasing you forever, and so, you know, that needs to be looked at. I think the day could be a little bit longer. The night did feel longer than the day to me, but maybe it was just a perceptional bias type deal. Animation and sound effects in general, I think is where I would definitely do a little bit of work there to make the game more immersive and punchy and heavy and weighty. Also, when I drink, it should look and sound like I'm drinking with like an animation and like a glug 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 noise. Same for food. Like when I'm crafting, I should be hammering nails and emoting while the little meter fills up. And like while I'm cooking food, you know, he should be like kind of moving a skillet a little bit, and you should hear the sizzling of the food or whatever. There's a lot of ground to cover. Like, I think like the amount of things that definitely need a little bit of work in this game are very, very, very large. But I do think that it's doable. And so anyways, like, I guess it really comes down to, like, when the release window is. If the game is slated to come out in a month, like, poof, that's a big oof. I'd be sweating. I'd be a little bit panicky right about now. But if they're, like, a year or two out from release, the roughness of the demo makes a lot more sense. But for right now, those were the things that jumped out at me. Once those are resolved, I would probably go back through again and see what finer details jump out at me. But that's the really, really big stuff at the moment. that I almost instantaneously noticed over the last couple of hours. My name is Splattercat. I sift through the pile to find what's worthwhile in the world of indie games every single day so you don't have to. Today up on the chopping block, we had Outbreak Island Pendulum, their demo for Outbreak Island. I will see you all later. Thank you for stopping on in. That's about all I got for you for right now, but I'll be back tomorrow with something hot and fresh off the indie skillet. Bye, everybody.